Hello, ladies and llamas, and welcome back to Doki Doki Literature Club. Now today, we're just going to be continuing where we left off last time. Yeah, not much to be said about that. Hope you guys are enjoying it so far, and I'll probably do around 25-30 minutes right now, because I don't want my camera battery to die like last time, so yeah, that's probably how much we'll end up doing. But anyway, without any further ado, let's just get right back into it. Yeah, so just going to load up our game from last time. Alright, and hopefully my reading will be better than last time, because I know last time I struggled. Alright, Natsuki's voice sparkles with excitement. It's a stark contrast to her usual bossy tone, but if she's not used to sharing her favorite manga with her friends, I can understand why. It's hard to express in words the feeling you get when connecting with someone like that. And being able to provide oh boy, this is a rough start. And being able to provide that to Natsuki, for whom it's a rare experience. The thought makes me smile a little to myself. Okay, everyone. Are you all ready for today's poems? ... Oh, come on. Could your timing be any worse? Sorry. I just needed to make sure we have enough time. Though you do look pretty cozy over there. Haha. Natsuki suddenly notices how close she's gotten to me. She hastily slides herself a good 12 inches away from me. Alright, guess I'll stop here for now. I close the book and hand it towards Natsuki. You're just giving it back? Don't you want to know what happens? Yeah, but Monica just said, don't be dumb. Just take it home with you. Is that really alright? I say that mostly because I really didn't plan on using my spare time to read this. Well, of course. It would take forever to finish if you didn't take it home. Just finish that one before tomorrow so we can start the next one. And if it gets bent, I'll kill you. By tomorrow? I only got partway through the volume so far. I might fall behind on some shows if I try to get through this, but I suppose that's a necessary sacrifice in exchange for seeing Natsuki's enthusiastic face. Or am I more scared of what will happen if I don't finish it? Alright then. I stand up, I return to where I put my stuff and carefully slip the book into my bag. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before. Well, now that everybody's ready, why don't you find someone to share it with? I can't wait. Sayuri and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayuri is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I'd do the same myself. Oh, who should I show my poem to first? Who should we pick? Well, since I chose all the sweet stuff, I think we should go with her. I told Natsuki I was interested in her poems yesterday. It's probably only fair if I share mine with her first. ... Okay, well, let's start with the things I don't like. First of all, Natsuki reads my poem. Never mind, I don't feel like giving you my opinion. What's the point of sharing in the first place? I wrote this when I could have been doing other things. In fact, I remember how I said I wanted to read your poems? That's what I had in mind when I writing this. I want to help you feel comfortable enough to share yours, like Monica said. Well, I would be more comfortable sharing my poems if yours was really bad. You were supposed to show me some dumb poem and make me go, ha. Well, that's not great, but let me show you. Oh, jeez. I'm getting like tongue twisted and stuff for no reason. Well, it's not that great, but let me show you what real literature looks like. And you went and ruined it. I hope you're happy. So in other words, you're saying you liked it? Natsuki resorts to get caught in her throat. You don't understand anything, do you? I already told you that. You don't have to go announcing it to the world like you're all self-important. Pretty sure you never actually said that. I said that mostly to myself. Natsuki must really hate me or something. I can't figure out if it's a win or a loss that she liked my poem. In any case, you still need to show me yours, right? Fine, I guess. Only because Monica will make me if I don't. Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try, but that's about it. That's a great poem. Yeah, I told you that they weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff, so people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't that the point of poems, for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make you make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly. I like it when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem, seeing everyone around you do great things can really be disheartening. So I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest. Oh, I just clicked through that without reading it. Oh well. Yeah, I guess not. I decided to humor with her the last comment. I don't really care about how old everyone is, but if Suzuki is feeling proud, then I won't take it away from her. Who should I share a poem to next? See, now I know it's kind of boring right now, like the poems and everything, but trust me, gotta remind, this is a scary game. It does get dark, it does get juicy later on, so let's just, next one. This is a good poem, Landon. Are you sure it's your first time? Of course. It's not that good. And I'm the kind of guy who would be writing poems in his spare time. I guess you're right. That's why it impressed me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid that you wouldn't do it seriously, or that you wouldn't write one at all. I'm really happy you just wrote one. It just reminds me of how you're really a part of the whole club now. Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room. Well, of course, I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise. See, it's always like I said before, Landon. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know. Trying new things like this for other people, that's something that only real good people can do. Thanks, Sayori. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again, I can't deny that she's the part of the reason I joined. Knowing how much this means to her and all, yeah, and I'm gonna make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That would be my way of thanking you. Alright, I'm going to hold you to that, then. Yay. Now you might read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this. Well, let's see about that. Dear sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you miss me. Kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above, the sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever, but I'm not mad. I want breakfast. Dang. Sayori, this is just a guess, but did you wait until this morning to write this? No. Just a little bit. You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or no question. I forgot to do it last night. Well, at least that makes me feel a little better about myself. Don't be mean. I still try my best. Ah, yes. I didn't mean to say that it was a bad poem. It came out nice, or how should I put it? It sounds just like you. Really? Yeah, especially the last line. I made eggs and toast. Even though you were late to school, it's bad to skip breakfast. I get all cranky. Well, I guess there's no pointing in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me. This is so much fun. Monika's the best. Oh yeah. Next time I won't forget. And I'm gonna write the best poem ever. Well, I guess look forward to it. We're getting through these. This part is kind of showing poems, but just waiting for the juicy parts. Yuri stares at the poem. A minute passes, more than enough time for her to finish reading. Oh, sorry. I forgot to start speaking. It's fine. Don't force yourself. I'm not. I just need to put my thoughts into words. Hold on. Okay. This is your first time writing a poem, right? Yeah. Why do you ask? I'm just making sure. I guess that it might be after reading this through. So it's that bad? No. Did I just raise my voice? I'm sorry. Yuri blinds her face with her hands. I couldn't help but notice that it's been several minutes and we really haven't gotten anywhere. It might take Yuri a while to get used to new people. It's fine, I really don't notice. What you were saying? Right, it's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers, and having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form fit to two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them into work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example, and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little bit based, though. Based how? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about other people like that. I already read that one, so it's like, I already know. Sorry, it's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself or to me or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily as if it's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't that supposed to be a literature club? Whoa, look at this handwriting. Alright. I'm really, really bad at reading cursive, but... Oh, man. Alright, what does that even say? Tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing, let's say bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe. Does that say bathe? Man, I'm sorry. I'm really bad at reading this. I'm breathing air of the present, but living in the past. The lights flickens. I flicken back. Oof, that writing. I'm so sorry I have such a terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. I mean, it's not terrible. I'm just so bad at reading it. I probably read those words wrong. Oh well. But it took you a long time to read. It's like she basically knew that it took me a long time to read. Because it did. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. That's a relief. Also, I like the poem. Even though it was short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you liked it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all. Really? You must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and expressions in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn, putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. It's nothing, really. Well, it makes me happy that you think that. Just remember that I wouldn't be long before you pick up on these things too. Yeah, and maybe you're right. I guess I'll have to keep trying. I'm counting on you. Alright, it's time for Monica. The evil. Hi, Landon. Having a good time so far? Ah, yeah. Good. Glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course, I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, I want to share you a poem with me. It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Hahaha. Don't worry, Landon. Doing that little pose thing again. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know, but it's fun. But it's that sort of barrier that we all learn to get past soon. Yeah, it's true. I hand Monica my poem. I like it, Landon. Really? It's a lot cuter than I expected. Oh, jeez. No. It kind of makes me think of something that Suki would write, and she's a good writer too. So take that as a compliment. Yeah, because I picked all like the cupcake stuff. If you say so. Yep. By any chance, have you read anything by Shel Silverton? Maybe a long time ago. He's famous for telling all kinds of stories in just a few simple words. His poems can be funny and endearing or even sad, and sometimes they're only a few lines long, and they might even feel like they're written for kids, but you think about them. They can express views of the world that would apply to everybody. I see. So you're saying that Natsuki is kind of like that? Sort of. Maybe she's not an expert, but you probably won't find much filler in her poems. They might be easy to write, but they're super challenging to get the meaning through. So I can see why it would be your kind of poem to explore. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else may be a little biased towards their own kinds of styles, but I'll always help you find what suits you the most. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Hehe. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I'll always feel that way, you know? I see. Well, let's read it then. Okay. Hole in wall. It couldn't have been me. See, the direction the speckle protrudes, the noisy neighbor, the angry boyfriend, I'll never know. I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I reel, blind, like a film left out in the sun. But it's too late. My routines. Does this go down? Okay. Already scorched with the permanent copy of the meaningless image. It's just a little hole it wasn't too bright. It wasn't too deep, stretching forever into anything. A hole of infinite choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in, I was looking out, and he on the other side was looking in. These are confusing. So, what do you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right kind of person to ask for feedback. It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That's it. A lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between the words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy up later. Another way to think about it is this. Oh, my throat's getting dry. This is a lot. It's so it's okay. It's okay reading, but I just want to get to the good stuff. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Ooh, phew. I guess that's everyone. I got around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone judging me for my mediocre writing abilities, even if they're just being nice. There's no way my poem can stand up to theirs. It's the literature club after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayori and Monica are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They glingerly exchange sheets of paper, staring at their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration, meanwhile Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively turns the poem onto the desk with one hand. I guess you could say that it's fancy. Thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. You mean you have to try so hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but I really didn't come out nice at all. Oh, my throat's looked dry. Oh, I don't know why. There's really not any monster left there. Alright. Well, I do have a couple of suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it, and Linda did too, so based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me, I appreciate the offer, but I spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless, of course, I come across something particularly inspiring. They're just arguing at this point, which I haven't yet. And then, like my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. So he suddenly stands up. Oh? I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. Where'd the music go? That was weird. That's not what Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Linda appreciates my advice more than he appreciates yours. And how do you know he doesn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No. if I was full of myself, I would be deliberately go out of my way to make sure everything I do cheesy. Is everyone okay? Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Landon started showing up. Natsuki. Natsuki, this doesn't involve you. I don't like fighting guys. Suddenly, both girls turned towards me as if they just noticed I was standing there. And then she's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She stood up. If she could get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point of making your poems all convoluted for no reason? The meaning should jump out of the reader, not force them to have to figure it out. Help me explain that to her, Landon. Wait, there's a reason you have so many deep expressive words in our language. It's the only way you convey complex feelings and meaning the most efficiently. Avoiding them is not only unnecessary limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that, right, Landon? Well, how did I get dragged into this in the first place? It's not like I know anything about writing, but whoever I agree with will probably think more highly of me. So, of course, that's what's going to be. Nice choices. Who should I agree with? I think, I don't know. I don't know. Whatever. Yuri, you're really talented. Where? But Natsuki has a point. I think that I rack my brain in an attempt to back myself up. I think that's kind of conveying feelings with a few words. It can be just as impressive as well. It lets the reader imagination take over, and Natsuki's poem did a really good job of that. Yeah, I did, didn't I? It shows you how much you know. That's not. Natsuki, I think that's enough. Huh? Me? But you were so mean to me. Natsuki's voice widens. Look, what we talked about yesterday was right. Writing is a really personal thing. And starting it can be definitely hard. Or sharing it, not starting it. It looks like what we learned today, that even a small criticism can lead to something pretty hated. I glance over my shoulder. Sayori is nodding vigorously. Yeah, so you don't need to feel threatened. You're a great writer, Natsuki. Natsuki's voice gets caught up in surprise. Thanks for noticing. She finally mutters that, but audible. Yuri? Yuri looks at me dejectedly. With a face like that, I can't help but feel bad for her as well, so I'm sure that Natsuki didn't mean everything she said, so you don't need to feel threatened either. Well, if you say so. Hey, it's not like you need to apologize for me, Landon. Sheesh. Natsuki takes a breath. Natsuki glances around the room. Would everyone stop staring at me? Unsurprisingly, Natsuki has a harder time with it than she boasted. Sayori and Monika look away. Anyway, the thing about your boobs, I didn't mean it, okay? That's all. Natsuki looks away, avoiding eye contact with anyone. Yeah, you're naturally beautiful, Yuri. Say, Yuri. I'll go make some tea. I wasn't just trying to help. I'm sure she appreciated it, Sayori. I pat Sayori on her shoulder. Well, now that we're all past that, everybody read each other's poems, right? I hope that it was worthwhile for everybody, especially you, Landon. And to be honest, it's a nice change of pace from the lazing around we got a little too used to. So for joining the club was responsible for the ruining atmosphere. No, not at all. There is still time before we go home, so we can all relax for a little bit. Of course, besides chatting, we do literature-related things in the club room, so maybe you can take the chance to pick up a book or do some writing. After all, that's what the club is for. I disagree, Monika. About what? That's not the most important thing about the literature club. The most important thing is having fun. Of course. Well, I guess why you're the vice president, Sayori. In the end, though, Monika's right. Being in the literature club probably means I can't spend all my time doing nothing. But in the end, I guess it's been worth it so far. Alright, well, I think I'm going to stop this one here, just because I want to make sure my camera doesn't die and stuff. But I'll pick up with this in the next episode. And yeah, this has been a fun read. It's still not like scary or anything yet, it's just normal. So it's so weird because you're getting so used to these characters just being like so nice to each other. They had a little argument, but you know, for the most part, they're all happy and stuff. It's just so hard to believe that this was scary, and it just gets so messed up. So, alright, well, thanks you guys for watching, and I will see you llamas in the next one.